You check your phone for a message. Nothing. A few minutes later, you check again. Nothing has changed. Yet something inside you feels unsettled. Why? After all, you already know the message is not there. You know your worth is not determined by a notification, a comment, a compliment, or a stranger's approval. And yet your attention keeps drifting back. The real answer is far stranger, because the part of your brain that worries about what other people think was built for a world that no longer exists. For most of human history, being ignored was not an inconvenience. It was a survival problem. Imagine waking up 10,000 years ago. You do not live in a city. You do not have savings. You do not have a grocery store, a hospital, or a locked front door. You have people. That is your entire safety net. The small group around you helps find food, watches for danger, shares knowledge, and protects children. If something goes wrong, they help. If they disappear, your chances of survival collapse. In that world, social approval is not about popularity. It is about survival. Your ancestors lived in groups that were often small enough for everyone to know everyone else. Anthropologists studying traditional hunter-gatherer societies have found that cooperation was essential to daily life. Food was shared, skills were shared, information was shared. No one survived entirely alone. What happens when a human brain spends hundreds of thousands of years in that environment? It evolves to monitor social signals constantly. A raised eyebrow matters, a cold tone matters, a disapproving look matters. The brain learns that tiny social cues can predict much larger consequences. Long before written language existed, social awareness became one of humanity's greatest advantages. The individuals who noticed shifts in relationships often had a better chance of staying connected to the group. And staying connected meant staying alive. This helps explain something strange about modern life. Physical threats and social threats often feel surprisingly similar. Your heart races, your stomach tightens, your thoughts become obsessive. Why would criticism trigger reactions that seem designed for danger? Because in a deep evolutionary sense, social exclusion once was a form of danger. The neuroscientist Naomi Eisenberger became famous for research exploring this idea. In one experiment, participants played a simple virtual ball-tossing game. At first, they were included. Then the other players stopped throwing them the ball. Nothing physically harmful happened. Nobody yelled. Nobody threatened them. Yet brain scans revealed activity in regions associated with distress. The experience of exclusion appeared to overlap with systems involved in processing pain. Your brain does not always separate social threats from physical ones as clearly as you might expect. That ancient wiring is still active today. Only now it operates inside a completely different world. A negative comment can come from someone you have never met. A judgment can arrive from thousands of kilometers away. An audience can number in the millions. Your ancestors never faced anything like that. For most of human history, a person's social world was limited. Today, your brain can compare itself against celebrities, influencers, executives, athletes, and strangers all before breakfast. Is it any wonder that social anxiety feels overwhelming sometimes? The system was never designed for this scale. Robin Dunbar, a British anthropologist, proposed a famous idea known as Dunbar's number. His research suggested that humans may be cognitively adapted to maintain stable relationships with a limited number of people, rather than thousands. Whether the exact number is correct is still debated. But the broader point remains important. Human social machinery evolved in small groups. Modern social networks can expose you to endless evaluation. The mismatch creates tension. You may think you're worried about thousands of opinions. In reality, your brain is treating many of those opinions as if they came from members of a close tribe. The result is exhausting. Yet social approval is not entirely a problem. It helped build civilization. Think about trust. Think about cooperation. Think about reputation. These invisible social forces allow large groups of humans to work together. Businesses function because people care about credibility. Communities function because people care about social expectations. Even kindness often depends on awareness of how actions affect others. The desire for acceptance has a positive side. Without it, human societies would look very different. So the goal is not to stop caring completely. The goal is understanding why you care so much. Because once you understand the mechanism, you start seeing it everywhere. Consider embarrassment. A simple mistake can replay in your mind for years. You stumble over words. You wave at someone who was waving at somebody else. You send a message to the wrong person. The event lasts seconds. The memory lasts much longer. Why? Psychologists have studied something called the spotlight effect. Research by Thomas Gilovich and his colleagues found that people tend to overestimate how much others notice their mistakes and appearance. You feel like everyone is watching. Most people are busy thinking about themselves. But your brain evolved to treat social mistakes as important information. It stores them, it reviews them, it tries to prevent them from happening again. Sometimes that process becomes excessive. What feels like a useful learning system turns into endless self-consciousness. The ancient program keeps running, even when it is no longer helping. This becomes especially obvious online. Social media platforms are filled with numbers, likes, views, shares, followers, comments. Your brain loves measurable social feedback. Not because it understands algorithms, because it understands status. For countless generations, status influenced access to resources, allies, and opportunities. High-status individuals often received benefits that improved survival and reproduction. The details have changed. The underlying psychology has not. Each notification becomes a tiny social signal. Each reaction becomes a piece of information. Your brain collects it all, sometimes without your permission. This is one reason digital platforms can feel so compelling. They interact directly with systems that evolved long before technology existed. The machine is new, the circuitry is ancient. But there is another side to this story. Something surprisingly hopeful. Human beings are not prisoners of their evolutionary history. You can observe these instincts. You can question them. You can redirect them. That ability may be one of the most remarkable features of the human mind. The psychologist Albert Bandura emphasized the importance of human agency. People are influenced by environments and social pressures, but they are also capable of reflection and self-direction. You are not simply reacting, you are interpreting. That distinction matters. Imagine receiving criticism. One response is automatic. Your pulse rises, your attention narrows, your mind prepares for social danger. Another response arrives a moment later. You evaluate the criticism. Is it useful? Is it accurate? Does it come from someone whose judgment deserves weight? That second process changes everything. The first reaction is ancient. The second reaction is deliberate. The first is instinct. The second is wisdom. Over time, many people discover an important truth. Not all opinions deserve equal importance. Your brain may treat every judgment as a potential threat. Reality is more selective. Some opinions contain valuable information. Others contain projection, misunderstanding, or noise. Learning the difference is a skill. And like any skill, it improves with practice. Ironically, many admired individuals reach success only after disappointing large numbers of people. Scientists challenged accepted beliefs, artists broke conventions, inventors pursued ideas others dismissed. Progress often requires temporary social discomfort. If approval becomes the highest priority, growth becomes difficult. Yet completely ignoring others is not the answer either. Humans are social creatures. Connection matters. Belonging matters. The challenge is balance. How do you stay connected without becoming controlled? How do you value feedback without becoming dependent on it? Perhaps the answer begins with recognizing where the feeling comes from. The next time you worry about being judged, imagine the deeper story unfolding beneath the surface. A modern situation is activating an ancient system. A brain shaped by thousands of generations is trying to protect you. It sees social uncertainty. It sounds an internal alarm. It encourages caution. That response is understandable, but it is not always accurate. The world that created the system is gone. You can appreciate the warning without obeying it completely. You can hear the signal without surrendering to it. You can care about people while remembering that your survival no longer depends on universal approval. That realization changes the emotional equation. The judgment of others becomes information rather than destiny. A comment becomes a comment. A mistake becomes a lesson. A rejection becomes an event rather than an identity. Little by little, the pressure softens, and something else appears in its place: freedom. Not freedom from caring, freedom from constant fear, the freedom to speak, the freedom to create, the freedom to try, the freedom to fail, the freedom to be seen as imperfect. Because every human you meet is carrying the same ancient machinery. They worry about opinions too. They replay conversations. They question decisions. They wonder how they are perceived. The secret concern you carry is often shared by nearly everyone around you. And once you see that, another strange thing happens. The crowd becomes less intimidating. The audience becomes more human. The judgment becomes smaller. The perspective becomes larger. You stop seeing social approval as a final verdict. You start seeing it as one signal among many. A useful signal sometimes, a misleading signal other times, but never the entire story. And that brings you back to the beginning. You check your phone for a message. Nothing. But now the silence means something different. Because the urge to seek approval was never proof that something is wrong with you. It is evidence that your brain was shaped by a world where other people once meant the difference between survival and isolation. And in a world where you keep checking for a message, the real story is that your ancient mind is still checking for the tribe. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to Modern Minds, Ancient Brains, and join us for more life-changing insights, timeless philosophy, and better ways to think and live.